Hi, this is Crow from crowscrapology.com, coming to you from Knoxville, Tennessee. Watch us on YouTube on Crow's Crapology 2. We'll go to our Facebook page, Crow's Crapology, and go to our website, crowscrapology.com. So we're going to talk about college football today. It's getting down to it. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. It's getting close to the end of the college football season and the start of the bowl season. And the college playoff, 4 teams in the college playoffs this year, 12 teams in the college playoff next year. So next year there'll be a lot more people fighting and whining and crying and making all sorts of ridiculous comments of why their team should be in there, like a team that's ranked like 20th, and they'll whine why they aren't in the 12-team playoff. But anyway, that's next year. We can hear all that complaining next year and all that crap. So anyway, college football. Well, let's go down the top 20. We'll go down the top 20. I'm blind. I gotta put on glasses. But anyway, so we got Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Ohio State 3, Florida State 4, Washington Huskies 5, Oregon Ducks 6, clank. Texas with Steve Tequila Sarkisian 7. They shouldn't be there. Bama 8, Nick Saban. Penn State number 9. No idea why they're there. Oklahoma number 10 after they lost to Kansas. They're still number 10. My screen just went blank because I haven't moved the mouse around enough. I haven't done anything. 11, Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss Rebels. 12, Notre Dame. They shouldn't be 12. LSU 13, they're going to lose to Bama this week. They'll move down farther. Missouri number 14, they got to play number 1 Georgia this week. 15, Louisville. 16, Oregon State Beavers. 17, the Air Force Academy. 18, Utah Utes. 19, Tennessee Vols. 20, UCLA Bruins. 21, Tulane Green Wave, who wears light blue now, which is interesting. Kansas, number 22, after their upset of Oklahoma. The Jayhawks out of Lawrence, Kansas. Number 23, the James Madison Dukes, baby. Finally getting some respect. They're undefeated, 8-0. They're finally in the top 25. 24, the USC, the University of Sentence Criminals out of South Central Los Angeles, who don't play defense. It's kind of against their religion. Number 25, Kansas State. They are another Wildcat team in the NCAA. So anyway, all you really care about is the playoff, right? 4 teams going to make the playoffs. We got probably Georgia. We're saying Michigan's going to make it, and we're saying Florida State, and probably the Washington Huskies, University of Washington. The reason why Ohio State's going to be out is they have to play Michigan. So they're going to play Michigan. Michigan will probably beat them. And Ohio State will get knocked out because they'll have a loss. Florida State will skate through the ACC. There aren't really any good teams there. North Carolina was looking good. They got beat, though, last week or the week before. Georgia, I think they can get through the SEC undefeated. Them and Michigan have the best offensive and defensive lines, and that's really what it comes down to, is the teams that play solid defense and have good offensive lines are going to be the teams that probably get in the final game. You can win in college being quicker and not as big and not as strong, but it's very seldom that happens. Florida State's going to have a hard time if they wind up playing Michigan or Georgia in the playoffs. They're going to have a hard time beating them. The Huskies have a solid defense, and they have some size. And they have probably, I think, Heisman Trophy winner Michael Penix Jr. I think he's the best, most outstanding player in the country, and he should get the Heisman Trophy. He's had a really good year. He throws for just a ridiculous amount of yards every game. So anyway, that's the 14 playoffs. And then we got the bowl season coming up. So bowl games, I looked this up. This is the official NCAA rules for bowl games. There's going to be 41 bowls, including the championship game. 42 if you count the semifinal game. You have to have 6 wins to get in the bowl game. You have to have a winning percentage of 500. So you got to be 6-6, or 6-5, or 6-4. You can only have 1 win against an FCS school, the lower division schools that, all these teams like to play, the lower division schools, they get like a couple $1 million for playing these teams, and it's their revenue for the whole season. It makes their season. Next year, the playoffs go from 4 teams to 12 teams. So if we were next year, the playoffs, we'd have Notre Shame in there, which they shouldn't be in a playoff probably. We'd have the Ole Miss Rebels, and maybe you can make an argument for them. Oklahoma, who shouldn't be in a playoff probably. Penn State, who shouldn't be there. We'd have Bama, probably not, shouldn't be there. We'll have Texas in there, which shouldn't be there. Oregon Ducks, maybe. I mean, they can beat anybody on any given day. And then we'd have the top 5 teams that are there now: Washington, Florida State, Ohio State, Michigan, and Georgia. So Georgia, if it was next year, Georgia would be playing Notre Dame. Michigan would be playing Ole Miss. Could be an interesting matchup. Ohio State would be playing Oklahoma. Be Penn State and Florida State. It would be Bama and Washington. Texas and Oregon. So if it was next year with the 12 teams, that's how it would come out. So 12 teams would be better. I'd rather have 16, but we got 12 instead of 4. So that's better. We're getting closer to the FCS lower division, who's been having playoffs and settled their number 1 in the nation with playoffs for the last, who knows how many years. I should have looked that up, I guess. But, Division 1, oh no, we have to do it by sports writers and everything else, so the teams with the most money and the most political connections can be number 1, not the best team in the country. NCAA needs to pull their head out of there, where. They need to get out of college football. It's a business. Let it be a business. People, unfortunately, it's going to be, if you play college football and some other college sports, it's going to be you're an employee of the college. You're going to have an option to go to school if you want to go to school. You're not going to have to. You're going to be paid like they are now with the NIL money. Most of these players, good players here, making $2-3 million a year off their NIL money. But anyway, it's college football. 14 playoff this year, 12-team playoff next year. Bowl games coming up. We believe Michigan, Florida State, Georgia, and the Washington Huskies will be in the Final 4. So this is Crow for crowscrapology.com. Watch us on YouTube, Crapology2. Go to our Facebook page. Watch college football. It's more exciting than pro football. You do have some upsets. Maybe Kansas State could upset someone this week. And maybe Missouri. Missouri could give Georgia a hard time. I don't think they'll beat them, but it's possible. They're a solid team. You have some wacky upsets. Rutgers could beat Ohio State at Rutgers. What's his name? Shiano is the coach now. They're playing much better this year. He believes in defense because he was a defensive coordinator in the NFL, so they play defense. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'm going to try to get over my psychotic thing about defensive football and that teams should play defense to win. I've had this issue for many years, and my psychiatrist says I need heavy drugs and a lot of psychotherapy, and he's not even sure if that'll get me over this issue I have with football teams playing defense. Bye, thanks for watching.